Hello everyone, welcome back to Basketball Bricks, and today we're going to be ranking all 6 of the minifigure compatible LEGO Star Wars AT-AT Walkers. Now, I have admittedly been on a little bit of an AT-AT high recently, as you can probably tell from some of my recent uploads. For some reason, just ever since I got that recent AT-AT Walker, there's just been this weird childish energy that I've unlocked through LEGO AT-AT Walkers, and I've just been enjoying owning them and looking at them so much recently. I don't know why, but it's just been one of those beauties about collecting LEGO, being able to, get that little bit of your childhood, and there's just been something about them that have been, getting so much childhood energy out of me. So I thought today it would be fun if we ranked all of these LEGO Star Wars AT-AT Walkers. Now I'm going to be doing it from a scale of 1 to 10, and we're going to be doing them in order of release date. So let's start right back, all the way back in 2003 with the very first AT-AT Walker. Alright, so let's start out in 2003 here. Now I'm going to be honest, I really like this Walker, and it looks surprisingly good for 2003, at least in my opinion. I mean, I'm just going to go out and say it, I gave this a 7 out of 10. Visually, of course, it doesn't look as good as our more recent ones, but it looks pretty good, and there's a surprising lack of, any unnecessary colors on the exterior. It just looks pretty good. There is a lot of combination of different colors of grays here. So you can see there's a lot of light gray, a lot of dark gray. It does make it look a little bit messy, but overall, I'm very impressed with how this thing looks. And the interior of it is actually pretty good as well. While the cockpit can only hold 1 minifigure, and that's a little bit disappointing, as it looks like it could potentially hold 2. The body of this model has seats for 4 minifigures and can hold all of their blasters, which is better than most of the sets that we're going to be taking a look at today. And it has racks that can slide in and out, 2 racks, so it's also very easy to access those seats. Overall, 7 out of 10. This is a surprisingly good model, and I had a lot of fun looking at this. Alright, so we just took a look at that awesome 2003 one. Now we're getting to what I think is the worst one. 2007, the motorized AT-AT Walker just looks the worst in my opinion. The angles for some reason on some of these panels just look weird to me. There's some massive gaps, and the head doesn't really do it for me either, honestly. Just visually, this is poor. Now I will say we do have to give some exceptions to this because it does have a lot of functionality and a lot of mechanisms inside of it with the motor functions, but a lot of play value is taken away from this because of those motor functions. There is no interior in the body, a lot of functionality is removed, and I'm sure the legs are a little bit more tricky to pose then because with all those gears, but I don't own this set, I can't talk on that. One positive I will say, it looks like the head might actually be able to hold 2 minifigures, which technically means that this set is a little ahead of its time in terms of that, but besides that, it doesn't do it for me. I gave this a 5.5 out of 10. I mean, visually, it just doesn't do it for me. And play-wise, it just doesn't have the criteria that I think a LEGO set should have. The motor functions is cool, honestly, don't get me wrong. If the motor functions weren't there, I'd probably give this like a 2 or a 3, honestly, but the motor functions are the only thing keeping this alive, so, besides that, there's not really much here. Alright, so the 2010 AT-AT Walker, I have to go right out and say this. This is the best selection of minifigures we've ever had in an AT-AT Walker. We get 8 minifigures, 4 of them are Imperials and 4 of them are Rebels. This is, I believe, the most Rebels we've ever had in an AT-AT Walker, maybe the only AT-AT Walker to come with a Rebel that's not Luke Skywalker, and we have 3 of them. I mean, it's such an amazing minifigure selection because it adds so much conflict to this set. And we also get that little turret for the Rebels to use. There's a lot of great play value in this set just because of the minifigures, which is a huge, huge thumbs up on my part. Visually, this is also absolutely a massive improvement over the last one. Yet I gave it a 7.7, and the minifigures do a lot with that. Though the interior space, oddly, is not as good as the first one. The cockpit can still only hold 1 minifigure, but this does bring back the sliding rack system, though it can only hold 3 minifigures and 2 weapons now. So it is a little bit of a downgrade in that sense, but visually, this is a huge upgrade, and play-wise, and minifigure-wise, I should say, it's also a massive upgrade. Alright, so now the 2014 one. Now this is actually one that I own, so I can speak on this a little bit more, but because I've spoken on it quite a bit recently, I'm going to keep this short. Visually, this is a huge improvement. It's just better looking. Cool minifigure selection, some massable, very collectible figures in this set, but I will say the lack of any rebels does decrease the play value a little bit, and the lack of any real usable interior space, just a hole with some uneven ground inside, doesn't work for me. So I gave this a 7.5 out of 10. Visually it looks good, and the minifigures that we have are very good, but this significantly lacks in play value, which is a bit of a shame, but besides that, a very solid set. Alright, so once again, this next ATAT Walker I do have the privilege of owning. This is the 2020 rendition, because once again, I've talked about this quite a bit. I'm going to keep this short. This is the best ATAT we've had yet. It has a good minifigure selection. Not the best minifigure selection, but it's definitely up there. The head can hold 3 minifigures. This is the first model to actually hold an accurate amount of AT-AT pilots and give consoles for all 3 minifigures in here. Not to mention the head, this is visually the best. And it's the build on here, it's not just an upgrade to the 2014 one. They redesigned it, at least by what I can see. It's a redesign. They did so many things so much better. They used, this is used for a mechanism, this is used to carry figures, and this carries a speeder. Every single part of the body is used, which is the first time this is done. The best AT-AT Walker we've had yet, by far. I love it. Now, there are 2 major complaints. The head, the neck here is, it cannot be posed as much as previous ones. They put a rubber piece in here, so when you turn the head, it moves back like that. And there's also a little bit of colors and such here showing, like you'll see there. But besides those 2 major things, the best we've had yet. It's really amazing. And you know, I like that you can put the speeder in the back. It's a nice homage to the 2003 one. So yep, I gave this a 9 out of 10. I love it. It's definitely the best rendition we've had so far. Alright, now I get on to the big boy, the most recent rendition. This is the 2021 Ultimate Collector Series AT-AT Walker. I might be looking down a little bit more for this one. I have a little bit more notes for this one. Now, visually, this is by far the most superior model. The detail on this is just outstanding. It is amazing. This just visually looks so incredible. And it comes with a really vast selection of minifigures, a lot of massable figures, a lot of really great figures. Usually UCS sets don't come with a lot of figures, but because AT-AT Walkers are a troop transport, I'm really happy LEGO gave us so many troopers. This thing can hold, actually, you know, it can hold 2 snow speeders, E-web cannons. It's the only AT-AT Walker to have a generally truly detailed interior. It's not just stuff to play around with, you know, because this is a collector's item, because there's so much more room, they really went all out with the detail in this model. With that said, 8 out of 10. That might be controversial to say, but here's my reasoning here. So we have to take a lot of things in accountability. Just because a set is very well detailed does not mean it's necessarily better than other sets. Like, once again, I don't know if this is controversial. I'd say this is better than the UCS one. Let me explain. Here's some of the major reasons. 1, the UCS one is significantly more expensive. $800 compared to, what was it, like 160-ish? Yeah, I mean, the value, yeah, probably don't have to explain it. Number 2, the size of this thing. Now this is kind of a double-bladed sword. On one side, the size makes this such an incredible display model. On the other hand, the size makes it a not so incredible display model, because this thing is so huge, so tall, and so heavy, it makes it very difficult to display. Like, I looked around my room when I was doing this. I don't see a place that I can comfortably put this. I'd have to put this on the floor. It'd just have to be sitting there. It'd be a nuisance. I don't have any place to put this, and I'm sure a lot of you don't. It is just such a massive thing. And of course, another reason why I kind of put this down low a little bit, it's such a long and complex build. It really isn't accessible to a lot of people like that other 2021 is. Overall, it is an incredible display item, but really, it's just the lack of accessibility. Well, and especially because this is on the market at the exact same time, why people would buy the UCS one when you can just get this one for a significant less amount of money. Honestly, I'd probably give the UCS one a 9 if that wasn't on the market at the same time, but yep, that's my list. So that is, I just quickly ranked every single LEGO Stars AT-AT Walker. I hope to take a little bit of a break from AT-ATs from now on. If you enjoyed this video, maybe consider leaving a like. If you do, I might do a couple more of these. This was fun to make. It was fun to rank some of these. I was considering doing one on TIE fighters in a little bit. That might be fun. So if you enjoyed the video, do all that stuff, and I hope to see you in my next video.